Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Make persistence your best friend, my sister. And today, I'm going to tell you a story of a blackberry pie. So we moved in. You're like, what the fuck? Karen's off her rocker today. Here we go. There will be some value for here, I promise. So here we go. So we moved into a new house 3 weeks ago. And we didn't know until maybe a week before we moved in, because we actually had possession of the property about 2 weeks before we actually moved in, and we had a little bit of painting done and gardening work and got a lot of kind of work to do with this house. Even though we're renting it, we just wanted to, we want this to be our home, want this to be the way that we want it. So we didn't realize till we moved in, or shortly before, that there are actually fruit bushes in the backyard. There are raspberry, which are actually pretty much done season now. There's apple trees, there's plums, and there's blackberries. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about blackberries outside of I like them. I think they're delicious. And apparently they grow like a motherfucker. And so we have all these blackberry bushes because the backyard and the front yard has been overgrown and not cared for a number of years. So there's a ton of blackberries. I can very easily, even just the ones I can reach, because I can't get way back. Blackberry bushes have these like tons of little, even prickly little things on the back of the leaves. So it's very difficult to actually get to them when they're really overgrown. There's so much more that I could actually get, but I can't outside of having to cut down all the bushes and, get to the berries that way. But every single day, at least a pint of berries. And so I'm like, what are we going to do with these, with these blackberries? So I told the boys we're going to make a blackberry pie. So I started picking the blackberries. We would eat some. I put some in salads because kids would just eat them raw. And then I'm like, all right, we're going to do the pie. But we have to get a gluten-free crust. I'm not making a crust from scratch. It's just that's just too much work for me. So we have to find a gluten-free crust. Didn't go to the original store that I went, they'll probably have it. I'll go, no, let me go to the bigger one because they'll have more selection. So it was probably a period of 3 days or so until I actually got this crust. Now, just know, this was not I was spending all day. It's I'd go to the store and it's fuck, they don't have it. Oh, well, I'll just go next time, right? And then I had to get the other ingredients in it, which wasn't complicated. It was just a few things I was missing. Then that took another day or two. And then today was the day. I found the recipe, I got the ingredients, I found the gluten-free crust, holy shit, they exist. And I was off to the races, had the recipe. This was actually a blackberry and blueberry. So had the blueberries, everything's good to go, man, green light, getting these fucking pies done today. Because how hard can it be? I got the crust pre-made, I'm just gonna pour the shit in, bake it in the oven, easy peasy, right? No cover on top, just gonna make this simple. And I asked my husband to pick up a few things from the store, and the one thing he forgot is the one thing I needed, which is a lemon. I need lemon zest and the juice of that lemon. Fuck. All right, go in the store. So there was a matter of probably 6 days from the time of we're doing this pie, trying to get my son Tyson excited about it. Just he wanted to eat it, but he didn't want to make it. To, he wouldn't come to the store with me. I'm like, well, it's not in the world. I'll do it tomorrow. And 6 days. So when Ed came back, he's like, oh, fuck, I didn't get the lemons. Damn. Just I'm out. I'm getting these lemons. This thing's getting done today. Persistence. Now, it's just silly pies, right? Who the hell cares about pies? But there's something I want you to hear in this for you. See, for a lot, they would have just been this is just too much trouble. I don't want to get the gluten-free crust. I'll just get a regular one. And so what? We're all going to have really upset stomachs, and my kids probably going to have diarrhea because they're not used to getting that shitty gluten and wheat in their diet, and whatever. That'll just be easy, right? Or I could just be whatever. We'll just put these blackberries in the freezer. We'll eat them another day. I don't really care, right? We're not big sweets people in our house. Who cares about the stupid ass pie? I could have done that. But I was determined. I was persistent. And although who gives a fuck about pies, I want you to take a look at other areas of your life right now and see where have you had things come up, left turns happen when you're trying to go right, unexpected circumstances, unexpected people that maybe didn't follow through, things, obstacles that got in the way of you trying to do this thing, complete this thing, whatever that was, a certain project, an idea that you have, a dream that you're trying to fulfill, like what the voice is really telling you to move towards, and there just seems to be continual resistance coming your way. So here's the thing to know about that. When it's something that's big enough, and I don't mean big enough like, oh, it's got to be this massive like life change thing, career change, relationship change, whatever it is, could be. But I just mean big and like you really want it, like it matters to you. So like these stupid ass pies, they fucking matter to me. Although I keep saying who cares about the pies, like whatever that big thing is, be prepared for resistance to come your way. And again, most of the world will see that and go, oh, I told you, wasn't supposed to happen. It's not meant to be. It's too hard. This is too difficult. Like, I'm just going to give up. Just forget it. I'm going to quit. I'm out. I'll do it later, which we all know never comes. Also, someday, maybe, when I have the time, when I have the money, when I have the resources, and all the other excuses that you and I have said before. We all know that stuff's just bullshit, right? Persistence. Make persistence your best friend. You know, the only variable in anything you do in the world is that you can actually control is you. It's you. Right? What people say, what others do, something that was supposed to happen on a time schedule, none of that shit can you ever control except you. And I'll tell you, those that work hard, are persistent, consistently put action into the thing that they want, they win every single time. Make persistence your best friend. See, when I have people that follow me here with the podcast, when I have women that are inside my Women Want More Experience, a new Facebook closed group, inside the sisterhood, inside my coaching programs, one-on-one, group coaching programs, my live events. It's very easy to be someone who's excited about stuff, who says stuff they're going to do and actually does it, right? It's another thing, though, to be persistent, to be consistent. That's actually consistency is one thing that is a theme that keeps coming up for a lot of my clients and women that connect with me is like, it's like, I know what I want. I'm really clear. I hear you talking about it and I've done the work. I'm clear on what I want. I'm clear on why it matters, why it's an absolute must. Like, I'm fucking committed and I've started taking action. And then something happens and I drift, I drop off and I stop. And then I beat myself up and I don't continue and I just drop off. Not choosing persistence. Maybe instead I was going to label this episode as Make Persistence Your Best Friend. It sounds really fucking boring. Let's make this more action-oriented title, which is simply this, which is choose persistence. Because it's a choice, right? So you have obstacles that come your way. That's a part of it. Who cares if something happened that isn't according to plan? Fucking welcome to planet Earth. That's the way things roll. But just like your commitment to getting clear on what it is you want, just like your commitment in figuring out why, that deep why it matters, why it must happen, just like your commitment to commitment to taking action, there needs to be commitment to being persistent. Because persistence wins. Persistence wins. You've heard stories of, we could go anywhere from like Colonel Sanders and how many doors were like slammed in his face. And by the way, he was like in his 60s, right? Until someone finally brought his fried chicken recipe and became the big franchise of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sylvester Stallone, who wrote the movie Rocky. And how many people said no to him because he said, you know what? I want to be like, I'm Rocky. He wrote the screenplay. It was his idea. It was his movie. He saw himself as the lead in Rocky, even though he didn't have any acting experience, even though he was this goofy-looking guy, and they all laughed at him like, you have this speech impediment. Like, we're not going to put you in a fucking feature film, and as the star? Are you kidding me? Ha, ha, ha. He was persistent. He knew what he wanted until he finally found someone. They said, fine, we're going to give you a small amount of money. And he goes, that's okay. Just give me money in the back end. And what that means is that, so it's more commonplace now that at least bigger name actors, as far as I know, would get a certain percentage, a certain number of points of the gross. I think it most likely would be the gross of the movie. So, you have big franchises and actors like Brad Pitt and, who are some other like big ones like Johnny Depp and Tom Cruise, and they would probably get back end money. They would get points, a percentage of the gross profit of the movie, like how much money is actually made at the box office. So at that time back, and I think it was, the movie came out in 1977. I think it was 1977. They laughed at me. He said, well, I'll do this instead. I'll take money on the back end. I'll take those points. And they kind of laughed at him. Well, if you know the movie Rocky, and holy shit, if you haven't seen the movie Rocky, go see the fucking movie Rocky. It's the best underdog movie ever. The movie made a shitload of money. It won the Oscar for, I believe, for Best Screenplay, which he wrote. And I don't know if it was maybe Best Actor or movie. I don't really quite recall. I'll have to Google that one and find it. Let me know. But he was persistent because he knew what he wanted. He was clear on that. And he did whatever it took to make it happen. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. Where do you need to be more persistent in your life? Like, I have a lot of women take a look at their marriage. They go, I want this. And they go, yeah, we're really good. And I would text him daily every single day. And then we did date nights. And then, the kids and busy and work and blah, blah, blah. Excuse, right? Unwillingness to be persistent. Unwillingness to choose to be persistent no matter what. So where is it? Is it within your marriage? Is it with your business or work? Is it with your body? Is it with your family and your kids? Where is it that you're not persistent, that you really want to choose to be? Because you're simply not getting the results that you want with that. And here's the next piece of that, because you know me, if you listen to the podcast for a while, sister, is like, action is everything, right? I don't give a shit about what you say. I want you to take action on this. Like seriously, like, don't send me emails like, oh, I love the podcast, it changed my life. Like, tell me what you've done. Women send me those, and they're like, holy shit, I've changed careers, and my husband and I invested back in our marriage and it's better than ever. And here's all, tell me the things you've done. Like, that's awesome. That's exciting, the action that you've taken. So, action step from that is, what is the one thing you can do in the next 24 hours? Because those that make decisions quickly and move will do them. What is the one action step you can take that's going to actually create more persistence in getting that thing that you actually want? And listen, as I record this podcast, is towards the end, but third week in August, I have my last live event of 2017. That's coming up. And there are 10 spots left. Women Wanting More live November 6th to 8th in Victoria, BC, Canada. 3 days. Intense, sister. Away from family and friends and work. You want to get results in your life? Women that have been following me for a while, because there's 12 spots and 2 have already gone really quickly, and it is by application. But these women are like I'm ready. And some have actually been coaching with me already, and some have not. They're just kind of jumping right in. But this is what will happen at Women More Live. So there's 10 spots left. It's by application, and it'll be an experience for you to get so clear on what you want and why. Commit. Be persistent. To learn the tools to actually put that into place, and to really figure out what are the obstacles that are holding you back from getting the things that you actually want within your life. So here's what you need to do to apply. Go to drkarenosborn.com/WWM live. So drkarenosborn.com/WWM, so that's Women Wanting More, /WWM live, LIVE. If you're listening here on your phone, click on the I button on the episode. It'll bring up the links, the show notes, and you'll see the link that'll be right there. Or if you're listening from the newsletter that's sent out with each episode. But this is your chance. If you're feeling a calling and you really want to create this more in 2017, this is the last event. And I don't know when the 2018 ones will be. There'll be some, but this is your chance. So, drkarenosborn.com/WWM live. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.